welcome back to the YouTube. Delicious morning coffee going down right now. It is Saturday the 14th of January. It's gone about, I think it's about 10 to 6 in the morning. Just sipping on this coffee prior to doing some morning cardio. It is going to be a warm one today, so I wanted to get a head start on the day, try and get my cardio done, training done prior to it getting too warm this morning. This is the first vlog since returning from the States a week and a half ago. So yeah, really excited to get back into vlogging on home soil. So let's get into it. So over the course of the 5 to 6 weeks we were in the States, I was able to stay on track quite nicely, bodybuilding wise. So what I'm going to delve into in this video is ways to stay on track. So the first one being diet. So how do you manage it? How do you do it while you're going overseas, you're traveling? So one of my tips would be is to make sure that you prep some meals throughout the day, because the reality is you can't eat out every single meal. So, you know, prior to the day, prep some meals, you know, whether it's rice, chicken, some basic stuff. Go food shopping to get some essential foods, like go through some things that are easy to make, so, or easy to cook. So rice is something that's really easy if you've got a kitchen to cook. Oats is always a simple one. Get some protein powder while you're at it. You know, other ones on the go, rice cakes, bagels, cereal, just some easy carb sources, and then just some easy protein sources. You know, just go get some ground meat. Yeah, super easy. My approach was then have, you know, 3 to 4 staple meals throughout the day, and then typically a meal out where applicable, but typically tracking it as best as possible. That just sort of allows some wiggle room to have that, you know, bigger meal, you know, that could be 1,500, 2,000 calories, but you've already had a bulk of your calories throughout the day. Also, don't go into those meals off hungry as well. That would be my suggestion, because that's just going to mean that you're going to potentially overeat. Following on from what I was just saying, I don't think fasting prior to, you know, meals off is a great idea, because yeah, that'll just probably be too hungry, you're going to overeat. Personally, another thing I found, sort of, you know, watch out for the foods you're eating. And what I mean by that is things that are potentially not going to be great for digestion. So I know for me personally, dairy doesn't generally sit too well, hence why I stay away from anything dairy related where possible. Minor amounts here or there aren't too bad. But yeah, things that are potentially going to bloat me, cause me discomfort, cause bowel movements, digestion for the next day to be an issue, stay away from. That's cardio just wrapped up, as you can see, all sweaty now. Gonna go shower, crack on with the day. Just out getting some steps. It's gone about 7 a.m. It's only 20 degrees at the minute. It's scheduled to get to about 37 today. But anyway, the second thing I wanted to talk about was training. So training wise, you're traveling. Your first goal when you get to any destination is find your closest gym. That's going to be the aim. Find the best one that's going to be the most suitable, going to have the most equipment, and is in close proximity, because at the end of the day, you don't want to waste time commuting in between gyms, especially while you're traveling. Avoid having pump sessions and just sessions to go in and get a pump. That's not going to be beneficial by any means. I would be structuring your sessions pretty much the same as if you were training at home. I would be keeping main compound movements the same. So for me, it was things like incline dumbbell press, dumbbell shoulder press, a block SLDL, a hack squat. Those were kind of the 4 main movements that I could tangibly measure throughout my travels, and it meant that I wasn't dropping the weight. I had always a target weight rep range wise, and now looking back, I'm just picking back up where I left off 7-8 weeks ago when I left back at the end of November. So to be able to pick up where I left off is a great result. In fact, I've potentially even progressed a few things. Like if you saw how my block SLDL moved on Thursday night, even on a devolume session, gosh, I'm excited to see what it looks like in a few weeks. I would 100% prioritize getting in quality sessions over shitty pump sessions. So even if that means you need to reduce your frequency to 3-4 times per week. I would 100% much rather that than just doing shitty pump sessions just for the sake of it. You're not going to get anything out of those. And yeah, it's going to be a waste of your time while you're traveling. Just rocked up to the gym. Pre-workout meal has gone down. Just driven to Powerhouse Inn for a push session. Anyway, the third thing I wanted to touch on is expenditure. So whilst you're traveling, depending on the holiday, everyone's holiday is different. You know, our one was quite an active one. You know, we were doing lots of steps. It was frequently hitting 20k steps a day. Other holidays you might be a bit more relaxed. You may not be getting as many steps in, etc. I'd always still recommend keeping some form of cardio in. The reason I say that, or just keep the regular cardio in that you were typically doing, cardiovascular health, just keeping the routine. I personally didn't need to, but wanted to keep that in, keeping the routine. Felt 10 times better keeping it. Anyway, that's one of the other suggestions. In for push, shoulder focused at Powerhouse South Morang. Cue the training footage. Let's go. So that's push session wrapped up. You'll obviously have seen a few clips prior to this. Yeah, pretty solid session to be back to volume. Touching the hundreds again on the dumbbell shoulder press, which I haven't touched in a fortnight since I've been in New York. Felt a bit heavy, but happy with how the reps were controlled, etc. So it'll just be a matter of now progressing rep range and having some more unassisted reps. Anyway, the Nautilus vertical press, AJ wanted me to go the neutral grip today, just to align the elbow path, because my sort of elbows were going a bit too low and pressing on a bit of an upward trajectory, too much of an upward trajectory. Anyway, felt amazing. Match reps with 3.5 plates, so couldn't be happier. Moving on to the topic of the video, the fourth thing I want to touch on is sleep. So often when you're traveling, sleep especially is one of the things that you let slip, and that doesn't bode well with recovery and feeling good to be able to explore where you're traveling as well as perform in the gym. So that's one thing that I certainly tried to prioritize where possible. Got the extra sleep in. I would sacrifice a little bit of time each day to sleep and make sure that I'm feeling better. You know, you're going to avoid potentially getting a bit sick, and just recover and enjoy the city that you're in. So sleep is one thing that whilst you're at home, you obviously prioritize, but when you're away, 100% is something you need to prioritize. I'm going to stop talking now, get down on this post-workout. I've got 200 grams cream of rice, 250 blueberries, 2 scoops whey. So a solid enough meal. Been in the freezer, so it's nice and cold. And got the aircon on, which you might be able to hear, and let's try and cool down in this heat. Alright, to wrap this video up, just to recap, the 4 things that we touched on was diet, training, expenditure, sleep. So overarching in that 5 or 6 week holiday, I put on about 1 kilo. in body weight, which our aim was to maintain just about and to put on a kilo, like it's here nor there really. And how progressive my training was, it was probably conducive and warranted some body weight increase anyway. So yeah, some of those things that might help assist you guys if you are upcoming travel. Anyway, I might wrap the video up here. If you liked it, pop a like, pop a comment down below, subscribe, stay tuned for the next one.